Hey guys, welcome to the Crypto Command live stream. Glad to get this up and going again, be able to chat with some of you as hopefully some people will roll in today. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. Lots of exciting news to share. I think there's been some interesting price action. The price of Bitcoin. We'll get to the markets later in the video. Wanted to start out with this news. A Coinbase user has filed a class action lawsuit against the company. This probably does not come as a big surprise. The news here really had to do with the price of BCH, Bitcoin Cash, as it was added in December of 2017. Plaintiff accuses Coinbase of artificially inflating prices, basically saying that there was insider trading going on as the price of Bitcoin Cash rose from $1,865 to as high as $4,300 in a very short amount of time. So, this is going to continue to be an aspect of pressure for Coinbase and these main elements into the market as trying to add new coins onto here, the price action that causes. We've seen all the speculation that surrounds when it was rumored that Ripple was going to be added, most recently seeing that Nano might be added. It's definitely causing a large amount of pressure on the prices. So this is, we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully Coinbase can clean this up and this won't be too much of a distraction. Looking at the overall markets, before we go into the whole market in detail, just looking at the coins that have changed the most in the past 24 hours, you can see sitting on the top of that is DigixDAO, DGD. So if you've been paying attention to the total market for the past couple of months, DigixDAO has one that has repeatedly had these double digits increase in price. It's now number 25 overall on CoinMarketCap, and it's now sitting at a total market cap above $1 billion and a price of over $500. Total volume, 84 million in the past 24 hours. Just looking at different coins, circulating supply is low at just 2 million DGD. So pretty much everywhere you look now, the DigixDAO, just pulling up one headline, top altcoin is DigixDAO. There's just been a lot of excitement about this. So I just wanted to go through here, talk about what it is, should you be paying attention to it, just the specs on the coin to start. As we just mentioned, price above $500, total market cap topping $1 billion in a low circulating supply. So the real interest in this coin has been that it has one of these exponential growth curves, which we're not seeing with every coin right now. So DigixDAO, you can actually look back at the charts back to 2016, but it's really been the past couple of months where we've seen this price action that absolutely exploded. So just in December, it was still right around $100 and now sitting above $500. So what is it? You may be familiar with DigixDAO. I'm just going to walk through exactly what is trying to be accomplished with Digix, where this price action may go, and talk a little bit about their roadmap. So the broader idea behind Digix is that there is this DGX coin, and it's basically a way to have access to gold on the blockchain. So as a marketplace for gold, every asset record, every DGX represents 1 gram of gold exactly. So in some ways, you can kind of think of this as being analogous to what was trying to be accomplished, or what is still trying to be accomplished with Tether. So it's a way to be able to back gold on the blockchain. And if you go through this, there's some elements that Digix has implemented here that show that they are really approaching this in an intelligent way. So proof of asset is what they are calling this, and should point out that this is being built on the Ethereum blockchain. So one thing that stands out is that Digix is trying to build this platform in a way that there can be third-party auditing. So this was one of the major problems with Tether, is whether or not everything was actually being backed. So Digix plans to have an audit done quarterly to show that they have all the gold that they are claiming to have and being represented by their coin. So the gold asset will be in their vaults, and then they will have those audited regularly. So that's positive news for having something blocked, having assets backed on the blockchain. And so what this really represents is a way of having long-term wealth preservation. So being able to really have something that has long-term stability in the form of digital assets. This is really the interesting part of this project, is that gold has been used long-term as a store of value. And we hear this all the time, that Bitcoin is digital gold. Well, that's what Digix is really trying to do, is create a form of digital gold to have these tokens that are representing actual physical gold and has a direct conversion to gold. So Digix itself has 2 different tokens that are being built on the platform. So on this left side, you see the DGX token. This is the Digix Gold token. This is the token that actually represents the physical gold. So buying this would be directly converted into 1 gram of gold. It's secured in their vaults. There's on-chain auditing. And so you can actually request to get the physical gold. So just highlighting here, you can redeem, I think 100 DGX is the minimum that you will actually be able to do this with, but redeem 100 DGX for 100 grams of physical gold. And all you have to do is just put in the request to get that and make your exchange. So the DGX token is not out yet. It is supposed to come out fairly soon. The expected release date is by the end of Q1 2018. What is available right now is the DigixDAO token here on the right side of this page. The DigixDAO token is a token that you can purchase to get rewards based on the transaction fees. So thinking of something stable like Digix in exchange for gold that you could go back and forth between to have some stability, the DigixDAO token is the idea of being able to claim a fee for all those transactions that take place. And so there will be a 0.13% transaction fee that you will gain by holding the DGD token. And these are the tokens that are currently available. So this is really the part of the stability of the network, is being able to have this ecosystem where you have the gold tokens that are then backed on an ecosystem where you have the DigixDAO tokens. So these are currently available for exchange, and we'll get into the price of that in just a minute. There's a pretty strong team behind this. I think one thing about this team that is particularly noteworthy is that this is a very transparent team. A lot of clarity on exactly what they're doing, what they're working on. The people themselves have a mix of backgrounds, really cover all the bases that you would expect for a team in crypto today. The chairman has experience in previously CEO of Fujitsu in Asia, and then their CEO was a trader at Global Investment Bank. And then what's particularly helpful is that they do have a strong team of developers. So really the domain expertise that you need in the space. So a large team, number of advisors, all of this, all positives for the project. If you look over here on the roadmap, you really start to see some of the transparency that comes into play here. So there is a lot of detail about what this team is working on, where things stand, what they're trying to implement into the project. So actually looking at, these are the Digix core components and libraries, and in detail they have these components laid out exactly what's going on the project, what the status is of that, and then they're putting posts on Medium to describe everything that they are working on. So a lot of these links, if you want to read about these in more detail, you can actually go to their Medium posts. So you can see this is, sorry to scroll around so much, you can see everything that they've worked on during the last quarter based on this. So you can see there's been a lot of progress based on everything that they've been doing. So here, one of the most notable things that will move this project forward, the DGX tokens, being able to actually work on this aspect, implementing this, is now completed. So it seems like, based on where everything stands on their roadmap, it will be a reality to get DGX launched by the end of Q1 2018. So probably what you are most interested in is what the actual price action of the DGD token looks like. So this is DigixDAO relative to Bitcoin on the Binance charts. Let me show you why I'm showing Binance before we go into that. Let's just take a look at the markets where DigixDAO can be traded. Binance is far and away the largest place where you can currently purchase DGD. There is currently 75% of the volume in DGD is Bitcoin, 63 million in the last 24 hours, another 12% on DGD Ethereum trading. Huobi is the next largest exchange, but that's much smaller. So overall, Binance is the largest exchange for DGD, and so that's why I'm looking at it here. Looking at the daily chart, you can see this started trading back in December on Binance. There's a particularly interesting pattern forming here on the technical analysis side, where there is a cup and handle pattern that is forming for DGD. That's what has particularly caught my attention. Of course, not trying to give any financial advice here, but something that is worth paying attention to. So why this is interesting, if we go back to the fact that DigixDAO has moved up to number 25 on CoinMarketCap, continues to show these large increases in price, and still has a favorable technical analysis pattern. If you look at the overall technical analysis rating on DigixDAO for trading view, it's sitting in the buy zone. And so why is that? If we take a quick look at this, you can see back here on the 2nd of February, we had this big spike in the price of DGD. Things started to pull back after that, the beginning of a cup pattern. Things have crept up since then. So we have this nice cup that has formed as a result. And now, as I've outlined with the blue lines, a handle has started to form. So cup formation, I'll just draw the line in here. What we typically expect to see here is that you will have a line where the top here on the left side and the right side matches up, and then the handle starts to form as price pulls back off of this. And then typically what you see off of here is that price will continue to move toward the upside. See if we can draw an arrow here. Not showing up the way I want to, but we'll just draw a line here so that you can see this is the trend line that we would expect to see coming off of the handle. Really, the point at which you might expect to see a breakout is when it gets above this point of resistance. So this is what you would be looking for. Typically, the volume as you go through the cup drops off, but that's what's somewhat been interesting about what's happening with DGD is that the volume has remained pretty high overall for DGD. So we'll see if it follows this pattern or not, but this is a potential breakout pattern to watch for. So this one continues to look as an interesting coin. Seeing 18% gains in the past 24 hours. Is this last candle that we've seen, is this a breakout through the handle already? That we'll have to see. So now I'm going to go back to the price of Bitcoin. We have moved through the downward trend line and are now sitting in a channel. So I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin relative to USD on the daily chart for Coinbase. And we have really come up against a point of resistance here. This is what I've been highlighting for the past few days. Point of resistance around 11,600. I'm going to flip over to the 4-hour chart so that you can see this in a little more detail. That yellow chart, the yellow line is, I haven't marked the exact point is 11,578, but what happened is this was creeping up toward this line and really just got rejected at the point that it hit this and is now bounced back. And we're pretty much just sitting in this channel at this point. What's been particularly interesting is that if you look at the relative strength index for Bitcoin, you can see that it is mirroring exactly what we're seeing in this channel between this 11,600 line and the 9,500 line. So these two lines do seem to be the larger points of support and resistance. I've drawn in one additional dotted line at right around 10,300 where there appears to be a little bit of support. So I think what we're going to see is some trading within this window of 11,600 and 10,300. So right now, wouldn't it be surprised to see some churn in there in the short term? Overall, for the markets, the effect that this has had, let's just refresh the markets and see where they're standing right now. And you can see this has had a small decrease in the price of Bitcoin, down almost 1.5% in the past 24 hours. Good news is the overall market cap is still sitting above 450 billion. That's really where we've seen some support in the overall market cap. And price remains above 11,000. So Overall, probably a healthy bounce off of this point of resistance. Once there can be a little more support, I bet we will challenge this again. So that's a quick update for today, guys. Thanks for those of you who have been in the live stream. Appreciate everyone who has been watching the channel, subscribing to the channel. I've enjoyed doing these live streams. Hope to do some more of these in the future. So if you're subscribed to the channel, like the content here, be sure to hit that bell notification so that you get alerted next time we do one of these live streams. Otherwise, that's the update for today, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching Crypto Command.